It's ya boy Shax back with another great video. Thank you for joining me here today. We're going to be covering how I treated my stomach ulcers. Definitely recommend you go see a doctor, a medical professional that can examine you. If you're looking for the alternative route, that is why I'm making the video here today, because I really wanted to have success going a natural route instead of going the Western route. And I continue to try to do this when issues come up for me, and that is also what you've seen in my previous videos. First, we're going to cover my side effects, what I was dealing with, how I think I got it, how I treated it, and definitely some big tips and things I learned along the way. It took about 10 to 12 weeks for this to actually heal, and that is an extensive amount of time for a lot of people, but you got to understand that the gut can take a long time to heal, especially if you're dealing with other issues that isn't just simply a stomach ulcer, for example. Now, I'd like to jump into the side effects that I was dealing with. I was dealing with a chewing, burning, and dull sensation in the stomach, and further over in the duodenum, always in the same spots, burping, acid reflux, heartburn. The pain would improve when I would eat lots of food and drink a lot of water. Possibly I had some mild anemia and B12 deficiency. When I would supplement iron and B12, I would feel better. I had problems sleeping at night because of pain. At one point was vomiting. I had a raw stomach, and I was sleepless from the pain, and I had definitely a lack of energy, which was probably a vitamin or mineral deficiency. You know, if you're dealing with the H. pylori, I definitely recommend supplementing with like iron-rich foods like a spirulina, for example, methylcobalamin, B12, sublingual. I also may even recommend supplementing electrolytes as well, because you can be really out of it. The electrolytes can help balance things out a little bit. So that was quite a list, but it's definitely one of the most difficult things I've ever had to heal naturally, and I'm really thankful I did, because I get to share this great story with you, and it means a lot to me that I can share this with you, that I actually healed from this problem. Okay, so moving on to what caused it. Number one, I was dealing with tons of stress and anxiety. I had been dealing with some situations within family and moving and whatnot. I won't get into it, but it was a very, very stressful, very difficult situation for me to deal with. And I really believe that I internalized that mental stress and the emotions down into my digestive system. Every time I would get anxiety and stress, I would just feel issues going on down here. And it was chronic. It kept going on day after day. And eventually, after more and more stress, I just felt like I couldn't take it anymore. And my gut went straight into some pretty bad dysbiosis. But around that same time, I was also beginning to consume a little bit of, I should say quite a bit, of alkaline water through a calcium carbonate filter we attached to our reverse osmosis system. And I learned quickly after that, about a week to 2 weeks in, that alkaline water can be really bad for your stomach and your digestive system, because it neutralizes the stomach acid, and pathogenic bacteria and other things can get in, and that's not good. And you do not want to mess up the symbiosis, the relationship of gut bacteria and yeast in your stomach and in your intestines. So it's really important to keep that balance from what I've learned, and doing lots of alkaline water can really mess that up. So I definitely recommend avoiding baking soda and alkaline water. And if you're dealing with lots of stress, like I was, cut the stress out. If you're drinking lots of coffee, maybe you want to cut back, because when you drink coffee, it can elevate your stress hormones, and you can have more acne, you can break out. Your body should give you some tall tale signs. Maybe you're having trouble sleeping at night. That just compounds the problem. So it's not easy, because with the stomach ulcers, if you're not sleeping at night, then you're not recovering well, and then it's a vicious cycle. Starting out with the supplements, I want to get into here. We've got the Gutshield powder, probably the number one thing that I recommend when the gut needs to be healed. You're dealing with stomach issues or intestinal permeability issues. The Gutshield powder here from Solaray, I got this on Amazon with free shipping, contains something called L-glutamine, and it contains zinc carnosine. And these two compounds are super duper good if you're trying to help assist the body and healing damaged tissues within that area from what I've been reading. This is very important because without the additional L-glutamine from eating foods like cabbage, for example, your body might not be able to keep up with the damage process. And the zinc carnosine also helps assist in that. So definitely I will leave some links in the description for more information on that. This was my baby right here. Very, very helpful. On top of that, see, if you see here, I've got the newer bottle and the older bottle. I went through about a bottle and a half before that issue is healed up. Number 2, you see 2 bottles of Thorn Pepti-Guard here. I do understand this is not necessarily cheap, but again, I was doing this to help out people out there that want to do the alternative route. So the Thorn Pepti-Guard here has a couple great ingredients, and I want to read them off to you. So we've got the DGL licorice root. It's where they remove the compound that raises your blood pressure. They pull it out so that you can take it longer term. It has 400 milligrams of that. Contains bismuth citrate, which is used in quadruple therapy. Normally in conventional Western medicine, you're going to be going through triple therapy where they give you a few different antibiotics and they combine the bismuth with it, whether it's in a citrate form or another form. The bismuth citrate helps kill off like the bad bacteria, for example, H. pylori. On top of that, we've got the Aloe Vera 200:1 extract in here. There's 200 milligrams of that. The aloe vera is very good at helping you deal with burns and stuff like that. So if you're having a lot of discomfort down here, you want help with that. Well, when you get a sunburn, you put aloe vera on. It helps cool it and calm it down. Same idea. And over here, last one, we've got berberine HCl. It's from the Indian barberry extract. We've got 200 milligrams of that. That also helps out in the digestive process. So Thorn Pepti-Guard, super good, highly recommended. Check it out. Next up on the list, another savior of mine that I do recommend you try. This is from Enzymatic Therapy. This contains the thyme essential oil and the rosemary leaf as well. This is peppermint, and peppermint essential oil is very good at calming down the GI tract if you're dealing with GI issues. Now, I tried this stuff out way late in the game. I wish I would have found it earlier. I tried this out very late, towards the end of the healing process. But boy, did I find it to be very soothing. It helped me sleep at night, so I do recommend it. This is an Enteric Coated Peppermint Essential Oil. Originally, though, I started out with the PANORAM Essential Oil, and I got a little 5 milliliter bottle, and I would just take it orally. It's very intense, because it's very strong. It has a lot of menthol, but that menthol really helps to kill off some types of bad bacteria from the research that I've done, and it also helps soothe the stomach. And then on top of that, here I've got mastic gum. Now, I want to be clear on this. Not all mastic gum is created equal. I ordered different brands. I've got this one here from Amazing Formulas Mastic Gum. I've got this one here from Solaray, and then I actually ordered this mastic gum in a powdered form directly from Greece. And as you can see here, this is from Greece. I've even got the postage available from that. It's very important that you get it directly from the source. I've tried these supplements, these capsules. There's lots of fillers in them. Sorry, Solaray, I love your products, but this one didn't match up to just the pure stuff. There was some other ingredients, shall I say, inside of there. And then the Amazing Formula is absolutely disappointed. I've read so many reviews online and looked at other people's stuff, and I bought it anyway. It's just filler. It's just you can't even. It's just full of filler. I would believe that there's 0% mastic gum actually in these capsules. So again, order it directly from source. Go on eBay. It's relatively affordable, and you can order it right from Greece. It takes a while to get to you, but I believe it's worth it. Sometimes there are US sellers that will have the powdered stuff. It's probably a little bit more expensive, but I was going for affordability. Next on the list, and I've got one more left after this, is Slippery Elm. Slippery Elm, I got it in a powdered form from the local store or local health shop. And the slippery elm is very good because the slippery elm helps to coat the stomach and the lining of the intestines and help reduce things like permeability, especially if you're dealing with some messed up poops at the other end. Next on the list, but not last, I did try out the Manuka Honey. Now the Manuka Honey here, this is the 16 plus. If you're going to buy Manuka Honey, it's going to cost you almost $30 a jar. So just keep that in mind. I do appreciate the Wetherspoon brand because they are going to be a lot cheaper. Right here it's going to say K-Factor 16. If you're buying this stuff, you want K-Factor 16 plus. Why is that? Why is it not the same as regular honey? Because it contains significantly higher amounts of methylglyoxal. Important because it's a compound contained within the Manuka flower, okay? And that's what helps kill off a lot of that bad bacteria that can be in the gut. And this is also good for soothing, so it has some soothing properties to it and other stuff. It definitely tastes very different than regular honey. It tastes a lot better than regular honey. Totally worth the money. I did buy 2 jars. Honestly, I put this the last on your list. Make it the last thing on your list. If you're going all out, definitely go for the honey. If you can't afford everything, get the Gutshield, get the Pepti-Guard by Thorne, get that Peppermint Essential OIL, and definitely get some mastic gum for sure. So those are the major supplements that I tried. And if you also want to go the extra mile, you can pick up some cloves, dried cloves. You can chew one up or maybe 2 and swallow it. That's what I've done. Now, again, it's not for everybody. It's pretty intense. But the clove has some pretty strong antibacterial properties. I want to make a point here. People talk about H. pylori, and I always see stuff about the broccoli sprouts, and I see it left and I see it right. And I tried it. I grew my own broccoli sprouts. Okay, I was trying to kill off that H. pylori. Broccoli sprouts. I'm not convinced it works. I'm really not. I grew, I think, 3 or 4 pounds of this stuff. I mean, we're talking a lot of broccoli sprouts. I grew organic broccoli sprouts. I ate the organic broccoli sprouts like 2 times a day, and I never noticed a difference. When I picked up these supplements, that's when I noticed a difference. So, right here, I even went as far as to go to Jarrow Formulas and order the Brocco Max. Now, essentially what it does is it has the sulforaphane generator, as they like to call it, from Myronese. Now, when you chew the broccoli sprouts, the compound breaks up and works its way into your digestive system, and when your stomach is churning the supplement, it generates a little bit of sulforaphane. But it generates a lot more sulforaphane if you are eating the actual broccoli sprouts. I did try it. It does taste like broccoli sprouts. I broke the capsule open. It has that eggish like flavor, but I just don't think it's worth the money. Honestly, you know, I think it probably helps people out with some other issues, but when it comes to stomach ulcers, it's not my go-to. I also tried Oregano Essential Oil. I tried grapefruit seed extract. No luck at all. So I don't recommend it. This is 80% carvacrol. Not my most recommended choice. So let's jump right into my treatment. Dive into it. What was I eating? I've been a vegan for over 2.5 years. I've never had GI problems up until recently with all the stress. So I still recommend a whole foods plant-based diet. That's my opinion. Okay, so first I want to address the sleep problem at night. If you don't have ginger, I recommend you get some ginger. What I do is I've tried it as a tea. I boiled it up, made it as a tea. Still pretty strong. I take it raw. I take a little piece off, chew it up, swallow it. Works well. Another way you can do it is making a juice out of it. I make little 1-ounce shots of it. It's really super strong, and I'll refrigerate 2 or 3 others for the following days if I'm really dealing with a lot of stomach pain. The ginger is really a godsend. Really, really is. So I have a juicer here, and I just went to the store, bought lots of organic ginger root. I bought the best stuff I could find, threw it in there, and I made the most potent ginger shots that I could possibly make. And they were killer strong, but they also killed the pain. On top of it, very rarely, but not often, I would take the 75,000 Scoville heat unit cayenne powder, which I don't recommend for everyone, but I took half a teaspoon at night, very occasionally when the ginger was not cutting it. I needed to sleep at night, so I took the cayenne as a pain reliever. That was until I discovered the peppermint essential oil. So if you do ginger and peppermint, you should be okay. So I tried a few other things that I've seen in other people's videos that I don't think really had an effect. And number one is coconut oil. Number two was taking strong probiotics. I was taking probiotics before I started having the GI problem in the first place. I was taking them during the GI problem, and it didn't really make any difference, so I didn't continue to take them. Well, number one, I took the peppermint essential oil. Now, before I got the Enteric Coated capsules, I was taking it just straight drops orally. I took 1 to 2 drops in the morning after breakfast, after lunch, and I would also take it just before bed. The next thing that I would do is, especially a morning and nighttime, just before breakfast, I would take a little bit of ginger to help soothe the stomach, and at nighttime, especially when I would go to lay down, I would take the ginger root, and that's really helpful to get me to sleep at night, because if your pain is in stomach, like mine was, you're going to have issues sleeping, and this really can help you with sleep. The ginger would usually provide me about 4 to 6 hours of relief, along with the peppermint essential oil. I would take the slippery elm that I've got here. I would take this every 3 to 4 days or so. I came to the Manuka honey over here. I took the Manuka honey in the mornings only once because it's a small jar and it's very expensive, but I do think it helped a little bit with the relief. And of course, when it came to the mastic gum, I choked this stuff down. And what I mean by that is I took a lot of it. I would take it sometimes 2, sometimes 3 times a day, every day. And I would take it, again, 30 minutes before breakfast. I would sometimes take it around lunch, and I would take it at nighttime before bed. So the mastic gum is definitely, I believe, quite helpful. It's a very interesting compound. It mixes with water if you take about a teaspoon out, or if you're taking a half teaspoon or so, depending on how much you want to take versus how big you are, for example. I definitely recommend taking it with water. You can mix it up with water. I mixed it with the Gutshield powder, the mastic gum, and occasionally I would take it with some electrolytes, like, for example, a power pack. Another bonus tip I want to share with you is if you're drinking acidic foods, for example, like coffee, kombucha, if you're eating foods like a lemon, I don't recommend eating acidic foods because you want to heal the lining of the stomach first. Okay, yes, it's important to break down your food so you can digest it and get your vitamins and minerals, right? However, if you have a stomach ulcer that's not healing, then it's probably going to get worse or just stay problematic for you. So you want to try to reduce the acid foods like apple cider vinegar and Coca-Cola or some other type of product. And you really want to take it easy on that area. So citrus fruits, if that's bothering you, don't take that down. Take down some vegetables, take down some other whole foods. I highly recommend papaya. I ate it pretty much every single day. I've got a beautiful papaya sitting over here right now. Pineapple, however, maybe not so much. I definitely recommend the papaya because it has great digestive enzymes. If you're having troubles digesting your food, the papaya can step in and help out with that. I did even eat some of the papaya seeds, but they taste like kind of peppery, yuck. When you're getting your papaya, is that it has the yellow ring around it. If it doesn't have the yellow ring, if it is just bright green, it's not ripe. You want to find one that's ripe and you can start taking it. So I think that's it for this video. If I remember any other information, I'm going to leave it in the description box down below. So keep an eye out for that. I'll put some other information like studies and the supplements down there for use for easy access, because that's what we do on this channel. We try to improve life, make it better, and bring that gut back into balance. That's right, baby. Balancing life. So, I want to mention that if you have a story to share with us here on this video, please share it in the comment section down below. Other people can find your information useful, most likely, especially if it's constructive. I've got some other great information here on the channel. I definitely recommend you check it out, so please take a look at the reviews, take a look at the health items that we've got. We've got a new Instagram account up, we've got a Patreon account, so if you want to support the channel, please go ahead and support it. I would really appreciate it, and I'm even offering the live coaching now when it comes to health coaching. So I appreciate your view. Thank you so much for staying tuned, watching through the whole video. You're super awesome. You take care and have a beautiful day, and I wish you the absolute best in your healing.